Hello everyone, new video here, second video of the day. Today is Saturday, February 1st, 2025. This is a 10-minute or shorter video. It's part of the Unanswerable Questions for Trinitarians series. This is number 4. No man can see God's glorified face and live. People saw Jesus' glorified face and lived. We would have to conclude based on this that either what Exodus 33:20 says is not true, or Jesus is not God, in the sense in which the Bible discusses. Let me show that to you. Here are the key texts that inform this question that I do not believe Trinitarians will be able to provide a biblical answer for that doesn't contradict these texts. The first is our text from Exodus 33:20. There, Judg says, "You are not able to see my face, because no man may see me and yet live." Verse 21 says, "Here is a place with me," he's speaking with Moses, "and you must station yourself upon the rock." Verse 22, "It has to occur that while my glory is passing by, I must place you in a hole in the rock, and I must put my palm over you as a screen until I've passed by." Verse 23, "After that I must take my palm away, and you will indeed see my back, but my face may not be seen." Very clearly there, God's face cannot be seen by a man, a human, and that human still live. So God takes the extra precautions of putting Moses in a rock and then covering him with his palm or hand, and then removing his hand so Moses can see the glory of his backside, but not his face. And even to see his backside, those precautions were necessary. Guess what? People live seeing Jesus' glorified face, and none of those precautions are ever taken. Look at this. Here are several examples. Judges 13:20. "So it came about, as the flame ascended from off the altar heavenward, then Jehovah's angel ascended in the flame of the altar, while Manoah and his wife were looking on." Judges 13:20 is an account involving the angel of Judg. The Trinitarians say is the angel of the Old Testament, angel of Jehovah. That's the second person of the Trinity. It's seen all throughout the Old Testament, not just in Judges 13:20. Numerous accounts where he's standing between heaven and earth with his sword drawn. They see his face glorified all the time. They don't die, and they don't have to hide behind a rock with God's hand protecting them. Here are other accounts. So that's Jesus before he became a man. During his humanity, he was transfigured according to Matthew 17:1 and 2, and his face shone as the sun. Then in Acts 9:3, when he appeared to Paul, it says, "Suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him." Paul said, "Who are you?" The answer is, "I am Jesus, whom you're persecuting." Then in Revelation 1:12-16, John describes seeing Jesus. And in verse 16, it says, "His countenance was as the sun when it shines in its power." And here it uses the word opsis. It's the same basic meaning as prosopon used in Matthew 17 for his face. In both accounts, it shines as the sun, like the light in Acts 9, or in the flame of the altar in Judges 13. In all of those accounts and in others, the angel of Judg, Jesus as a human but transfigured or glorified, and after he's resurrected, whether it's to Paul or to John or to anybody else, none of them die. They all see his face glorified, shining as the sun, bright light, and none of them have to hide under a rock with God's hand protecting them. So my unanswerables number 4 to you Trinitarians. How could Jesus be God equal to the Father and sharing the same nature that no one can see, right? It's your nature. If they're sharing the same nature consubstantially, it's the nature you can't see or that you have to be protected from, so you only see the back. Well, if they're sharing the same glorified nature and you can't see the Father's face, but you can only see his back if you're protected, and you can see Jesus' face or all of him without protection, they're not sharing the same nature, because the same nature would require the same protection, i.e. hiding in a rock with God's hand over you, or you die. Just like God said to Moses in Exodus 33:20. So since we know God's not a liar, and there would be no reason for tell Moses that and then protect him in that way, if it weren't true, Jesus is not God sharing the same nature with the Father. Or you would die, or have to be protected like that too, if you saw him.